Regina.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Holly.
So good to be with you again. In person. And actually, this is the night this is the day that we are leaving on our RV trip. The boy, 2 adults, 2 kids, 2 dogs, all in an RV, and Megan might come with us too. So by the time this is airing,
Oh my gosh. And remind us again, you guys are starting here in Florida.
yeah, and then we're driving up to St. Augustine.
St. Augustine.
For the
Love
first-
St. Augustine.
yeah, I've
Beautiful.
never been.
Oh my gosh. Historical, gorgeous. Love St. Augustine.
Then Savannah,
Love Savannah.
and then Charleston.
Charleston. Wow. That's where I want to go, Charleston.
Yeah, have you
I've
been?
I think I've been through there, but
Yeah.
been? No. So
yeah,
I
I've
can't
been
wait
to
to
the
go.
airport. That's it. Oh no, I haven't even. I've been to Charlotte. Never mind. Ignore me.
But your trip starts today. Well,
Yes.
team, community, let's pray for the Martinelli family. And Megan out there on the road with 2 boys and 2 dogs in an RV. And Paul's driving, right?
Yeah, I said I would drive, but he's like, I think I'll drive.
Oh.
He's a bit of a control freak when it comes to driving, or maybe just in life in general. That's okay.
But we adore him.
That's why we love him. So, and your birthday's coming up
Yes, we
next
are just
Monday.
Yes, the 12th. Can you believe it? Oh,
You're turning
another
29,
birthday.
right?
Yes, I am.
Like honestly.
Thank you.
So today we thought we wanted to kind of switch things up a little bit and go into some stories. I said to Regina when we were planning, it's like, do you have just like an outrageous life story? Because I have one. I mean, I probably have several. I feel, honestly, some days I feel like my life could be a soap opera.
I'm sorry to think that when you could easily find these stories, and I'm like, you know, I'm up at night pacing, and I'm calling my mom. Why have I led such a boring life? I'm like digging for the
Boring
stories.
isn't necessarily bad, I'm gonna say.
I don't think my stories can hold a candle to some of your stories. So I loved your idea. I really did.
So we're
I
going
really
to go into it. And just to, we'll try and make a point with the stories, but if
think
anything,
so.
I think some entertainment as well. So Regina.
Entertainment for sure.
Entertainment for sure. How about you start us off with your story, your outrageous life story?
Oh my gosh. So when I was about 19 or 20, I was taking some summer classes at the community college near my mom and dad's house in Jacksonville, Florida. And I was at the red light close to the school when I got rear-ended.
Shoot.
And so I get out of my car and the other driver gets out and he looks like he's 12.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, he stole the car from his parents. And so we meet behind my car and I'm looking, I'm like, you know what, we're all good. There's no damage, we're fine. And he said, just in case you want to have it looked at, let's exchange contact information. I said, okay, sure. He was trying to do the right thing. So my dad looks at it later that day and we're both like, no harm, no foul. It's fine. 2 days later, this guy calls me to ask me if my car's okay. And I said, oh my gosh, yes, no worries. We're all good. And then he says, would you like to go to church with me on Sunday? Now, I've been on my share of dates, right? Someone's asking me for a first date going to church. I'm 19 years old or so, and I say, sure, why not? He's trying to make it right. So Sunday rolls around, and I put on something really nice. I've got sleeves, and it's Florida, and it's summer.
Oh, yeah.
And my sleeves are going down to my elbows. I've got a long dress past my knees. Really nice outfit. I want to make a good impression.
Yeah.
He picks me up. We walk out to his car. I get in, and immediately, it's already at 10 or so a.m. in the morning. It's already 85, 86 degrees.
Yeah.
So I immediately get in. He gets in. He's like, there's no AC. Because I'm fixing the bits. I'm already ready for it to be blasted. With the paint. I fixed them. He goes, there's no AC. I said, okay. And I thought to myself for a second, maybe I should drive. I didn't say that out loud. So then I reach for, if everybody can remember back to the past, when the windows had the handle.
Yep.
So I reach over to the window to start to roll it down. He immediately says, no, the windows don't roll down. There's no AC.
I think you should have driven yourself.
The windows don't roll down. And I said to him, I'm passenger side driver the way we're sitting now. And I said to him, maybe I should drive. He said, no, I have it figured out. His door's not closed yet. And he shows me he's got a rope kind of hooked up to the door there. And he's got his left hand on this rope. He goes, I've got it figured out.
Oh,
so
boy.
strategically, he had a rope that he was going to maneuver as he drove. So we're about 15 minutes or so from church. And meanwhile, I'm full blown sweat. Like my hair stuck to my neck. I'm like, my outfit's ruined. I'm like full blown sweat. And so we start driving, and he never shut his door. He had the rope so that the door could be open. So if we took a little corner, a little breeze would blow it. It's a hot breeze, but a breeze nonetheless. And at a red light, he'd have the door open for us. And meanwhile, I'm beyond sweating at this point. We get to church, we walk in. It's a small, very small, like community church, very small, almost like someone's living room. Not too much bigger than that. We walk in. Now, he's white. He is the only white person at church. He's the only white person. No problem. I've been the only black person many a places. No problem. So we go and we sit down, and it's a church, and there's no judgment. I just had never been to that type of church. I was 19. There was a lot of rolling around on the floor.
Okay, yeah.
It was a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I'm a 19-year-old kid. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I've never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Women are falling down.
Yeah.
You know, praise Jesus. Listen, I'm a Christian. I'm a person of faith. That was a lot for me because I was new to it.
It's different, yeah.
And so I'm sweating. I'm already in my sweaty clothes, and all this is happening around me, and I'm a little bit traumatized. So then everybody was very lovely. Church is over, and we get back into our no AC, no window roll down car. And he says, "Would you like to go to lunch?"
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm completely sweating through my clothes. My hair's ruined, and I'm slightly traumatized by the falling out that I've seen at church. So I'm like, I just need to go home. He says to me, "Would you like to come back tonight?"
Oh my goodness, he's persistent.
And suffice it to say, that was the end of our time together. He did call me 2 other times, and I always declined the invitation. And he gave up. So this was the result of a car accident, barely a car accident, and a first date at church.
That's crazy. There are very few. I don't know if I've ever heard of someone going on a first date to church.
Yes, that was our first date.
To church. That's
And for him not to even know me, know what my religious views were, to even ask me, which I thought that kind of took a little something.
Yeah.
So, and I love telling this story. I've been telling it for 20 years I've been telling this story. And I love it because he wasn't afraid to put himself out there. And I thought, would I have been that bold? He wasn't afraid to put himself out there. Certainly I thought, don't judge a book by its cover. He was this 12-year-old looking person. You know, he was 21. He was 2 years older than me. And he was himself.
Yeah.
He was totally himself with me. He didn't mind the car. Now, I might have been too embarrassed to put somebody in my car where we couldn't even roll the windows down.
You had to use a rope on the door to keep it.
I was like,
Little airflow.
he's just strategically maneuvering this rope in this door. And I love a person that is not afraid to be themselves, to be bold, to be out there. And he was very comfortable in his own skin. And so not only do I love to tell that story because it's kind of fun, I reflect on someone that was so comfortable in his own skin. He didn't care about the car. He didn't care about anything. And they loved him at this church. The hugs and the way that they loved on him, they loved him at this church.
That's great.
So I'm like, okay, if you get hit, that may be the moral of the story. If you get hit by someone and they invite you to church, maybe go.
Maybe go, yeah. Give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Why not?
If there's not a great lesson or a great relationship, it's a great story. And I would tell my girlfriends, half the time I would do stuff for the great stories.
Sometimes that's the way
That's right.
life goes. You just gotta take it and run with it. That's so good. I love that. So my whole dating experience has been very, very different in that when I started dating, the first guy I dated was the guy I ended up marrying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't have like the whole dating experience. And then even after I got divorced, I really didn't get into any other relationships or dates before I ended up dating Paul.
I never thought about that until you just said that. So you, being, quite a bit younger than me, you've never had a dating experience.
No.
That's wild.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that
wild.
crazy?
Yeah.
Like sometimes people will talk about it and like, it's like, yeah, That's very interesting.
It's like the kids that grow up really fast and
Yeah.
they missed out on certain childhood events along the way.
Yeah.
You don't have the dating background.
Yeah, that whole
That's interesting.
phase of life.
Well,
Anyways.
maybe post Paul.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Did I say that?
Get back. That's okay. So
Did I say that
video,
out loud?
I did make a video about the things we talk about. Oh, what we talk
My
about.
favorite video you ever made.
What we talk
My
about the
favorite
fact that I'm married to an older guy, and I mean, granted, he is 25 years older than me, so it's it's a good.
And we were
span.
like, who's going to be
Yeah.
Holly's next husband?
Yeah. I mean, it's a valid question.
So maybe if real life is going many, many years from now, maybe it's Holly out there in the world.
I'll have my own dating stories. Okay, let me get into my story because I'm like itching to tell it.
Yes.
Okay, my story is perhaps you could see it as a little bit heavy, but I would encourage you to take it with just the sense of lightness because at the time it was not funny at all. It was like,
gosh.
but it was not funny, but it was, in a way, it was like, actually it was so ridiculous. It was funny, but it was also like really kind of devastating.
Get ready, everybody.
ready.
I'm not sure what's coming.
But I'm just gonna premise it by saying that we're all in a much better place now.
Okay.
So we all have worked through this. Okay.
Take a breath and
So don't
there's a
worry
disclaimer.
about the emotional fallout from this. Okay, so picture this: it's Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, which happens in early October up in Canada, and it happens on a Monday. So our thing. Don't ask me. I don't even know the origin of Canadian Thanksgiving, to be perfectly honest. Paul asked me, like, you guys just stole it from us. I'm like, it very well could be that way. So it's Canadian Thanksgiving. It's about a month after my ex-husband and I had split up. So I'm living with my parents in a 3-bedroom apartment. I'm just staying with them for a few weeks until I get my own place. I have my 1-year-old son. I'm 5 months pregnant at the time.
Wow.
So this is the scene, and it's Thanksgiving. We're planning on having, some of my siblings are way far away, so the ones who are within a couple hours are going to come over, and we're going to spend it together with my parents. So, so first things first. About probably it's like 10 a.m. in the morning, I get a phone call from my one brother, who he says to me. Says, Holly, I've made the decision. I'm not going to come to Thanksgiving with you and the family because I really feel that Jesse, who's my ex-husband, he needs family too at this time.
Oh, wow. Your brother.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm going to spend Thanksgiving with him. So that was a pretty big knife to the heart.
Sure.
That was tough. That I was devastated, and especially with all the pregnant hormones going on. Oh my gosh, I was a mess. So I go out to the living room and I'm crying, and I said to my mom, "This is what just happened," and she was mad. She was like, "How dare he?"
I can't even imagine your mom
Have
being mad.
you met my younger sister too?
Yes, because she looks like you.
Yes. So she is furious. She's the one who gets really
love
worked up
this.
about things. She is furious, and she goes off on like this is so wrong, and how could he do this? And then what happened was, let me say all of this. Let me also say this. I grew up in a very conservative Christian home.
Okay,
And
that's
so
right.
I was really the first person in my family and in my extended family to separate, get divorced.
Wow.
So that was a really, really big thing for my family. And it was interesting how, it really kind of divided the family for a while.
Did it really?
Yeah, it really did. And so, that's all part of it as well. It was very, it's a very emotional time. And then my dad walks out. He's in one of the back bedrooms. He walks out to the living room, and my mom starts telling him this is what happened, and she's really upset. And honest to God, my dad looks at us, and he just said, "I know. He called me first and told me he was going to," and I said, "Okay." So now we're all there. We're shell shocked. We're like,
Your dad knows. As an,
and he said it was okay. How is this okay? I was just and so it's had devastation to devastation.
Oh my gosh.
And so my mom just flips out. She's like, what? How could you do that? On and on and on. And my dad, and we all have our own way of dealing with things.
Sure.
his way of dealing with it at that time was to put on his shoes and just leave. Like,
Okay.
he didn't say a word, he just left.
Too much emotion, too much drama.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
left. Thanksgiving. Remember, this is Thanksgiving Day.
It's
We have
Thanksgiving Day.
a ham that we're about to put in the oven. We have all of these sides that we're gonna be cooking up. I cooked a pie yesterday.
All the family drama comes out at on Thanksgiving
yeah,
Day.
all of it.
The holiday.
So then,
brings it out.
so now it's me, my younger brother, my youngest sister, and my 1-year-old and my mom are at my parents' place, and we just kind of all sort of staring at each other like, what just happened? Then it gets better.
Oh my gosh.
We sit down at the table, the dining room table, and my mom says, "Guys, I need to tell you something." We're like, okay.
What else?
What? She said, "Your father is going to be moving out." This came out of nowhere. I was like, what? This was just out of the blue as far as I was concerned. I had no idea. And I knew, there were struggles in their marriage and in their relationship. But you know how we get so good, I think, at two things. One is just like carrying on an image that we want other people to see. And also not wanting to see, for myself, I didn't want to see the truth. I didn't want to see that that's where it was at. And so then I'm like just bawling. My sister.
The family's falling apart.
Yeah, so we're all there. So me and two of my siblings. The other three are at other places. The one brother is with my.
They don't even know what's happening. Like,
yeah, my dad is sitting at a Starbucks somewhere, and we're just like, what happened?
Trying to process.
We're just trying to process. And little Caleb, is just running around. I'm like, what do I do with this child? My God. And so then. But it keeps going. So
oh my gosh, okay. Brace yourself.
It's probably like getting close to noon by this point. Ham is in the oven. Out of the blue, power goes out. We're like, what? And we're like checking online, like the power company on our phones, like, is there, there's no storm. There's nothing, no weather problems that would cause a power failure. It just went out. And so we're like, okay, well, this is really interesting. And it was out.
Quite the day.
It was out for 5 hours.
Gosh.
It was out all afternoon and into the evening.
Did y'all eat? What happened to the ham?
We ate pumpkin pie. That was our Thanksgiving dinner. We ate pumpkin pie.
Oh.
Thank goodness I baked it the day before. Otherwise, we would have had nothing.
Because your meal could not.
No, we couldn't finish. We had nothing.
Couldn't finish preparing cooking the meal.
Plus, we were all a little so just emotionally worked up that we weren't really that hungry. So pumpkin pie was pretty perfect.
Perfect. That was the perfect thing to eat.
It was the perfect thing to eat. But so we just kind of sat there for several hours, and I honestly didn't even know what to do with myself. I was just trying to process it. What do you do when you're in that, and you're just trying to process what's going on?
Gosh. And what year was this, Holly?
This would have been 2016.
2016.
Yeah. And it was just like shell shock. It felt surreal. It really, every now and then we would just look at each other, my mom, my sister, my brother, we would just kind of look and kind of laugh. This is so weird.
One of our siblings is eating with your ex-husband, or soon to be.
My father
walks out,
and if I find out he and my mom are splitting up, and the power's out. Just
you can't even wrap your mind around the series of events. And I asked you what year because I'm with you now. It's 2022. This was 2016.
Yeah.
Can you even believe
what has happened since then?
You're at that table with your siblings, and you have a 1-year-old child running around, pregnant with the next one.
Yeah.
Thinking,
what? Yeah, what has come in my life? But
anything is possible. You are you are the living, breathing miracle of anything is possible.
Well, thank you. But, honestly, I feel like we all are in our own way. We do all have stories.
True.
When we really look, I feel like, even though you said you feel like you don't have stories, we do all have stories. Even if they're not as dramatic, there's still stories that really teach us things. I think, for me, I have to finish this really quick. So finally the power came back on. It's too late. The ham. It's too late to cook dinner.
Dinner's
That was
ruined.
it. But now the Wi-Fi's back on, power's back on, so we decided to watch a movie. And of all the movies we decided to pick, I don't know why, but I think I selected it. And I just felt drawn to Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Oh, have you seen it?
Yes. And
It's so good.
timely.
But a little very sensitive.
I wish I could have been in the room. I really wish I could have been in the room.
So there is me, my brother, my sister, my mom sitting on the couch watching this movie on our little TV. Caleb's in bed.
And that's an emotional movie.
Oh, it's very emotional.
Y'all been through enough that day.
But then in the middle of it all, my dad comes back in. He comes back in to get some stuff, and so we're all just sitting there, and this movie played, and he knows the movie well as well. I didn't say anything. I was just like, I wonder what he thinks about our choice of movie.
I thought you were going to say, oh, we chose It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
Trying to get some happy vibes.
Just wanted to really feel the emotions.
That's a way to feel the emotions. That movie's very emotional.
It was, yeah, it is.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
good. But that was,
Did your dad stay? What happened next with your mom and dad?
So my dad stayed that night, and then he did move out the next day. It was
Very
just
next day,
yeah,
on Black
very next
Friday.
day. No, it was a Monday. It was a Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It is Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how things had kind of played out for them.
gosh.
It was very surreal. But you know what? I mean, I really believe. I know there's a lot of hard things to work through in all of that whole thing. But looking at where we all are now, I really believe we've all grown in
And your mom.
different ways. Oh my gosh, my mom.
She's tremendous.
Yeah, she is. She's one of my favorite people in the world. She's
She's a
been
great
my
lady.
biggest, my biggest cheerleader for the longest
Wow.
time. So, yeah, she stood with me that whole journey, and we really got to journey that whole process of going through separation and divorce together. It was
Oh my gosh,
very
you're right.
unique.
So you're going through your divorce, the end
Yeah.
of your marriage, at the same
Yeah.
time your mom is.
Yeah, and we actually lived in.
Wow.
So once I got my own place, it was in the same building that she lived in.
Oh my gosh.
So we lived a few floors apart for, about, I want to say 2 years after that.
Oh my gosh.
Until Emerson was born and probably a year old. At least.
Wow.
Yeah, a year and a half old. So, yeah.
I didn't think about that. You and your mom walking this journey at the same time. And what value, and not just value, but maybe comfort,
Very much so.
that
Yeah.
you had her right there with you and going through it together.
Yeah.
You guys could support each other.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
it was very unique, but also kind of a special time of our lives that, we really got, we really formed a deeper connection. I've always been close to my mom, but that was just another
Wow.
level, just of depth and connection and support. It was special. It was really
Oh my
special to be able to
gosh.
process through it together. It really was.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So you can learn a lot from stories like
Yeah.
that.
And I will also say, if you're going through a hard time, just know that there's gonna come a day, hopefully, where you're gonna be able to look back and
Yeah.
laugh. Hopefully. But either way, even if you can't look back and laugh, there is gonna be an end to it.
And a lesson.
And
That
a
ending
lesson.
brings a lesson, especially upon
Yeah.
reflection.
Yeah.
You can sit here today and you can look at what that time, how that was allowing you to grow
Yeah.
and step into the place you are now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So there
Great
you have
story.
it.
Great
Outrageous
story.
stories.
Great story. I was looking forward to hearing this. I heard you talk about a bit and a piece of it. I thought, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much to all of you for joining Regina and myself this evening on Real Life with Holly and Regina, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.